Good morning and welcome to Temple Update. I'm Karina Cheung.
And I'm Houck. Police are still looking for a suspect in a shooting off campus this weekend. Take a look at the scene where the incident took place on the 1500 block of North 17th Street. The shooting broke out at an off-campus party early Saturday morning. Inside, the new police border patrol areas expanded earlier in the semester. We now have Melissa Steininger, who is live at the scene where the shooting took place. Melissa?
Thanks, Tag. Now, right behind me is the Pi Lambda Phi fraternity house, and right outside is where the shooting took place. Now, I spoke to some witnesses who were there early Saturday morning, and here are some of their accounts.
People started running in the living room saying, someone's been shot, there's a gun, there's a shooter. And so everyone started freaking out, running in circles, like jumping over each other, running out the door.
There were vague sounds of an argument, and then the gunshot kind of sounded out throughout the whole party.
These are the images left in witnesses' mind after a frat house party turned into a crime scene around 1 a.m. Saturday morning. A 22-year-old undergraduate student was shot in the hip in front of the Pi Lambda Phi fraternity house. This is the entrance where the fraternity brothers denied access to the alleged shooter, which gave him motive when the attempted robbery went wrong, according to police.
Guys were starting to take off their shirts to use as kind of like tourniquets or towels to kind of soak up the blood.
The student suffered non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to the hospital where he was released later Saturday. The suspect fled the scene on foot, heading towards Jefferson Street. According to police, the suspect is a 5'8" male, about 35 years of age, has a beard, and was wearing a light gray hooded sweatshirt. Students in the Temple community are worried over the chain of crimes happening off campus, especially in the new police border expansion areas. For a student who does not want to be identified, these events hit close to home.
I live was the armed robbery 2 weeks prior, and so that's 2 gun incidents within 2 weeks.
Although an unfortunate event did take place, the witnesses are grateful for the way the fraternity handled the situation.
It's never usually in someone's backyard or at a frat house, or it's never that personal.
He couldn't get what he wanted, he started shooting. If he would have gotten in the fraternity house, I don't know what would have happened.
Now, the fraternity did decline to comment, and police say the investigation is still ongoing and no arrests have been made. Anyone with information in the case or on the suspect is urged to call 911. Reporting from 17th Street for Temple Update, I'm Melissa Steininger.
Thanks, Melissa. Despite some high-profile incidents in recent weeks, campus security tells Temple Update crime around campus is down. A campus police spokesman says that since September, the overall crime rate in the newly expanded security zone is down 20%. The only noticeable increase has been in the number of thefts reported. The 9th Annual Global Temple Conference gave panelists the opportunity to showcase their research programs and events from around the world. The Student Center hosted the event, allowing presenters to provide in-depth details about their specific topic. Topics included studying abroad in Germany for a semester, political participation in the Middle East, and other global affairs. The keynote speaker was Dr. Christian Mersink, who is currently the president of the UN Association in Greater Philadelphia. Mersink spoke about the issues around the world, as well as what makes Temple so unique compared to the other schools he has seen in his travels.
Temple has a long history. It's a big campus, it's a large campus, and it has a tradition of growing from below, from the street, from the neighborhood, and I like that.
The global conference displays the diversity of Temple's campus and the many opportunities students are granted here.
Well, the Global Conference isn't the only way Temple is making an international difference. Temple students celebrated the annual Global Day of Service alongside alumni and volunteers at a local soup kitchen in Philadelphia. Updates Brianna Fletcher has the story.
Hundreds of Temple alumni, students, and faculty members volunteered for Temple University's 2nd Annual Global Day of Service. One of the community service events that took place was at Chosen 300 Ministries, whose mission is to provide services to the homeless and less fortunate in the United States and globally around the world. Tiffany A. Wilson, president of the Temple University Black Alumni Alliance, tells us why they selected Chosen 300 Ministries for their Global Day of Service.
They do a lot of great work in the community. They help many transitional men, women, and families. And we thought that this organization would mimic or mirror our mission with TUBA, which is to give back to others, not just alumni, but to family and friends as well.
Brian Jenkins, who is the executive director of Chosen 300 as well as a Temple alum, gives insights into other services they provide globally.
We not only provide food here in the United States, but we also pump over 300,000 pounds of food around the world every year. We operate in Guyana, Jamaica, India, Nigeria, South Africa, Liberia, Uganda, and the United States. We have an orphanage in Pradesh, India. We do agricultural development. We build wells. We do a lot of things to help people get food, but also move to self-sufficiency.
Thanks to alumni, students, and faculty, Temple University's Global Day of Service was another success. This is Brianna Fletcher reporting from Temple Update.
And Temple is ranked one of the top colleges for veterans. TU's Veterans Affair program celebrated Veterans Day with a bang. Veterans of every branch were remembered at the ceremony held on Tuesday. Keynote speakers talked about their service and how we should remember those who have served. Even basketball coach Fran Dunphy spoke about his service during the Vietnam era. Captain Joel Quiapo gave the audience a perspective from ROTC, and the attendees were reminded to appreciate their fellow veterans.
Suicide rate is still extraordinarily high. So just keep that in mind. Reach out to your friends, your family, your fellow veterans. Let them know you're there, let them know you care.
Temple will continue to commemorate veterans throughout November in honor of Veterans Appreciation Month.
We're here now with RJ Clark. Now, RJ is a member of the ROTC program at Temple and is currently in his senior year majoring in criminal justice. Thanks for being on the show. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Great. So how does being a member of the ROTC change your perspective of veterans?
So I didn't come from a military family at all, so it's something I was new to. But you really gain a higher level of appreciation for the sacrifices that these people make day in and day out. And not just them, but their families too. So that's something I've really gained an appreciation for through ROTC.
Now, RJ, how do you see the Army influencing the decisions that you make for your future? And do you see the experiences that you had and anticipate having affected your future career path?
So affecting my career path in a positive way, definitely. So ROTC has given me the opportunity to develop my leadership and work with some really great people that I wouldn't have an opportunity to otherwise. So I see it impacting me in a very good way. You know, you hear about great things with people moving on to big, great careers after their time with the Army, and I'm looking forward to doing that.
And now you said that you didn't have anyone in your family that was part of the Army, but is there anyone in your life that influences you from the veterans?
So a lot of the people I work with in ROTC are veterans for just day in and day out, and that's definitely impacted me a lot. Just hearing their stories and some of the advice they give you really changes your perspective and helps you kind of enjoy what you're doing.
All right, well, thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you.
Coming up on Whilst Veterans Serve Our Country, Temple students aim to serve our city. The Temple community gathered in Minton Hall this past weekend to spend 12 hours to help local children in need. Temple Update's Grace Chimel was there.
350 students danced for 12 hours straight on Saturday, and it was all for the kids. Hootathon 2014 went from noon to midnight. The dancers did Zumba, raved with glow sticks, and were even treated to a dance by the Diamond Marching Band.
All our funds are raised through Children's Miracle Network hospitals and go towards CHOP. Dance Marathon is a nationwide movement that fundraises for over 170 Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
And it's easy to get involved.
Yeah, I did canning. We can shaked. I asked to family, friends, stuff like that.
If we didn't have Hootathon and Temple students to contribute to the larger cause, my daughter Madeline, who's hearing impaired, wouldn't have the resources or the ability to excel.
So it's just like a really big way to unify the campus, and it's all about just getting people involved. Like once they hear about Hootathon, they know it's great and they want to get involved.
All of the dancing led up to the main event. Hootathon committee would reveal how much money they raised for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
Honestly, all I know is it's 119,500 something. I don't remember.
Hootathon participants and committee members raised over $100,000 tonight and look forward to raising even more next year. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Grace Chimel.
Coming up on Temple Update, Update Spanish Connection. Ginger Rausseo will tell us how Temple's Latin American community is getting more attention on the airwaves.
And in our report from London this week, Temple students get together to taste some real home cooking.
And back home, a Temple group gets ready for a weekend performance in Center City.
I'm Kylie Winkler, and I'll show you what teams performed and which ones were just a little shy, coming up.
And I'm Alexandra Gallo. It's much colder today, but can we expect snow? I'll have that coming up. Don't go anywhere. Temple Update. We'll be right back.
Temple is known for being one of the most diverse colleges in the United States. Update's Ginger Rausseo is in the studio to tell us how Temple TV is helping expand our community outreach. Ginger?
Thank you. Temple Update does not only broadcast news brief for Temple's English-speaking community, but also for the Latino as well. Update Ahora is the Spanish-language version of the Ahora. It's a student-produced news brief, recorded Monday through Friday in TV Studio 3 of the Annenberg Hall. Update Ahora does not only inform the Latino community about the latest news, but also helps the students develop production and reporting skills.
It was a nervous experience. I was never used to sitting in front of a camera, but I know that this experience will benefit me in the future because I am a public relations major, meaning that I would have to stand in front of tons of big businesses.
Update Ahora helps the growth of the Latino community of Temple University. It also promotes events and news related with the Hispanic Society of Philadelphia.
There's not really much for the Hispanic community out there, so I believe that that Update Ahora is most definitely a great start.
I think that the Hispanic population is rising, especially throughout the Philadelphia communities.
Update Ahora is broadcast on TUTV, Comcast Channel 50, and Verizon Channel 45 within Philadelphia city limits. You can also find Update Ahora on TempleUpdate.com and through Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Temple Update Ahora is now opening opportunities for Spanish-speaking students who would like to participate on TV production. If you would like to be part of the team, please go to templeupdate.com/update-ahora or visit Studio TV3 on Annenberg Hall. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Ginger Rausseo. Back to you guys.
Temple students studying away in London this semester got to experience a taste of home in their English flats. London correspondent Nicole Garland has the story.
Temple students wanted to bring Philly to London by having a night dedicated to Philadelphia cuisine. They gathered in the kitchen to share stories, laughs, and of course, delicious cheesesteaks. Each student lent a helping hand in making the night a total success. Senior Taylor Roble enjoyed the experience of the night.
It was really nice to get everyone together. We've been really busy, so it's nice to take a Sunday night out and all get together to make dinner together. We all really enjoyed it. We made really good food, and that was good.
John Patton felt the night was well needed.
I think people have been like a little bit of a slump recently. It's a little tiring. We're over halfway through the semester. It's getting colder, and so it was really nice to have this event where we all gathered together and had something that reminded us of home.
There is no doubt Junior Joe DiOrio was the best chef of the night.
Well, I grew up in South Philly all my life, and not being able to go out and get a cheesesteak really, really sucked. So it was nice to gather together with all the Temple kids and make cheesesteaks, and we did a hell of a job. Temple London did one hell of a job.
There's no denying that Cheesesteak Night in London was a total success. Students had quality time with each other while enjoying a nice bit of home. For Temple Updates in London, I'm Taylor Garland.
From playing in basements off of North Broad to touring overseas, one rap group from Temple University has made their way back to Philadelphia. Ground Up will be headlining at Union Transfer on Friday, November 14th at 7. Updates Kylie Mascitti sat down with the group.
We began to make music about 5 or 6 years ago. When I met Al actually.
And I grew up with Bijan, who had started dabbling with the beats, and you know, we started taking it seriously when we were all under the same roof at Temple University, and yeah, the rest is history. We just been making music ever since.
We kind of just did it for fun, because we all like music. We're all like hip-hop heads.
We had our first show in the basement of our house. Like a lot of people came out. I believe we made a profit. Like a profit.
When I say ground, you say up, I say ground.
We've always said it doesn't matter if there's 20 people or 20,000 people in the crowd, we're going to give the same amount of energy, and our goal every time we hit the stage is to really make it an unforgettable experience.
Now again, Ground Up will be performing at Union Transfer Friday night at 7 p.m. To hear more from and about the band, go to our website, templeupdate.com.
And to see the latest in Center City shopping opportunities, including the new Nordstrom's rack, watch Marita Salke's story, also on templeupdate.com. Temple Update will be right back. SMC students got a chance to jumpstart their careers in a discussion with a true media pioneer. Rob King, the vice president of ESPN Sports Center and News, sat down with Dean David Boardman and fielded questions from the dean and students. King spoke about his beginnings with the Philadelphia Inquirer and how he came to be in charge of ESPN's flagship show.
We now go to the sports desk where Kylie Winkler is standing by with the latest in athletics. Kylie?
Thanks, guys. Well, rumor has it that Rob King is actually a Penn State alum, so I wonder if that'll affect his predictions when the Owls play them on Saturday. Let's go live to Edberg Olsen Hall, where Tommy Sladek will give us the breakdown on the historic Temple-Penn State matchup. Tommy?
Hey, thanks, Kylie. I love a good Keystone State rivalry as much as the next person, but calling Temple-Penn State a rivalry seems a little outdated at this point, given the fact that Temple is 369-1 all-time against the Nittany Lions, and that last win coming all the way back in 1941.
Now in 2014, Temple head coach Matt Rule adds a little extra to the cross-state matchup. Rule played linebacker at PSU back in the mid-1990s, but facing off against his alma mater isn't going to change up his game plan.
I think, obviously, if we don't drop some of those balls, we have a pretty good day out there. I thought we protected the quarterback a little bit better. I thought we ran the ball certainly better. But I just think, like I said, I don't want to sound cliche, but football comes down to, you get a chance to make a play, you go make it, right?
Making that big play is exactly what Kenny Harper did against Memphis. Harper played in Beaver Stadium back in 2012, and he doesn't want his younger teammates to lose focus of the process.
It's nothing that they do that's going to stop us or affect us. We just have to play our game. It's Penn State. It's not, oh my gosh, it's Penn State. It's just Penn State. It's another team.
Temple quarterback P.J. Walker and
this time, well, we've seen that a lot this year. He is wrapped up in sacks, flows.
Walker believes the attitude he takes on Saturday is crucial.
Just be confident in myself that, just to go out there and have fun. At that, with me having fun, I feel like I can do anything on the field. So I just go out there and I relax, and I just go out there and play.
So Coach Rule said after the game, had a couple of those big catches been made in the Memphis game, that quarterback P.J. Walker would have had an outstanding game. But this isn't a team that's going to single players out. This is a team that sticks to the process, and they're going to play as one team. And that's the attitude they're going to take this weekend against Penn State. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Tommy Sladek.
Thanks, Tommy. It was the annual game under the Friday night lights that sparked fans' excitement. Beating their first-ranked team since 1998 the week before gave them some extra drive going in against Memphis. Less than 4 minutes into the game, the Owls are on the board first thanks to an Austin Jones 43-yard field goal. Later in the same quarter, Kenny Harper is able to break away and run the ball 75 yards into the end zone for his longest career run from scrimmage. Owls lead 10-zip. Temple's offense struggles in the second. Memphis is able to tie the game up at 10 by the halftime. The Tigers go on to take the lead by the end of the third, and even though the Owls defense was able to hold their own, Temple ties it back up in the fourth, but it's Memphis's last-second field goal that allows them to walk away with the W. Owls lose 16-3. And even though the football team might not have much of a winning streak, the volleyball team sure does. The Owls took on USF on Friday and UCF on Sunday, picking up their 8th straight win. That 3-1 win on Sunday broke UCF's 13-match win streak and allowed Sandra Sidlick and Kirsten Overton to be named American Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Week and American Weekly Honor Roll, respectively. And while some athletes were playing at home, over 100 of them traveled to Villanova on Saturday to show their support for the athletes who took part in the Special Olympics. The Owls broke into groups and covered various sports throughout the day. They cheered and celebrated with the Olympians and even got to share a dance with them during the festivities that took place in the center of campus. And for more on that Special Olympics story, make sure you head over to our website, templeupdate.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at @TU_SportsDesk for all things Temple Athletics. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Kylie. Coming up, will the next 5-day forecast greet us with sunny skies? Alexandra Gallo will let you know.
Temple Update will be right back. Former Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell was on campus Wednesday. Rendell talked about his book, A Nation of Wusses, and shared his views on the current state of American politics and issues. The event was hosted by the university's Political Science Department in Gladfelter Hall.
Well, Karina, those temperatures seem to be getting chillier and chillier every day. I wonder what we can expect this week.
Well, Tag, I think I saw Alexandra Gallo and her trusted sidekick, Frank the Frat Boy, at the Weather Center. So, Allie, what can you tell us about the weather?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, you've noticed a major temperature drop. Today, we're talking between 15 and 20 degrees colder this morning than it was yesterday morning. We actually hit 70 degrees both yesterday and the day before, which felt absolutely amazing. But for those of you who don't like the cold, I'm sorry to say, yesterday might have been the last day we reached anywhere near the 60s or 70s for quite a while. Currently, it's 41 degrees and mostly sunny, a cold start to the day. Frank the Frat Boy has on a heavier coat than usual. It might be that time to bring out the parkas, gloves, hats, everything, especially for the weekend. Today's high will be near 50, but the low will drop all the way near freezing at 34 degrees. Rain will move in this evening, so for anyone north and west of the city, could likely even see snow. Friday will be mostly sunny with a high of 44 degrees and a low of 31, officially dropping below freezing. Saturday, plenty of sun, but cold with a high in the low 40s and a low around 33. Sunday will feel a bit warmer, rising back up to the high 40s, but there will be increasing clouds and the low will be around 39 degrees. Precipitation moves in Sunday night and will affect the start of your week. As of now, it looks like it will be rain, but could be a wet snow. The rain will continue throughout the day on Monday with a high around 50 degrees. So guys, this has been quite the transition week. We started out with the week with highs in the upper 60s, which is around 10 degrees above average, and we're going to end the week with the highs not getting out of the 40s, which is around 10 degrees below average. For the latest weather updates, be sure to follow us on Twitter at @TU_WeatherWatch.
All right, thank you, Allie. Now that's all for Temple Update. For the latest on all things Temple, log on to our website, templeupdate.com.
And don't forget to follow us and like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
And you can always watch us 24/7 on TempleTV.net and Comcast Channel 50 and Verizon Fios Channel 45. For Tag, Houck, and the rest of the Update team, I'm Karina Cheung.
We'll see you next time.